Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Thursday edition of Live with Joe Daddy's Garage. Uh, this is a scheduled thing that I do on Mondays and Thursdays. Monday nights, I do it at 7 o'clock in the evening. And on Thursdays, I do it at 3 in the afternoon. The reason for that is there are people in different parts of the country and different parts of the world that would like to participate, and I give them the chance to do that. So, anyway, this discussion we normally do is about classic cars in general. Could be paint questions, welding questions, bodywork questions, whatever. And I also have a group of people that are commonly in the chat box who help support the process. So if somebody has a question or something that I can't answer, then a lot of times the people should point that way in the support box are there to help give me some answers. So I appreciate everybody being here. And I already have, looks like 18 watching, which is great. And I have several that have shown up early. And first off, Bob Knoll. Good afternoon, Barry. Checking in from Motor City, Detroit. Glad you're here. Scott Keeney. I was born in Detroit on this day in 71. Hope all is well. And in 71, one of my good friends is also born on this exact same day. So you share a birthday. So happy birthday to Scott. You get a bell for having a birthday and survive this long, right? Let's see. Okay, Bob. We're just waiting for a little bit of snow. Yeah, no snow. No thanks. Crash Rider. Hello to everyone. I'm in the garage cleaning out for a future project. Happy birthday, Scott. There we go. Snow was always fun as a kid. Yep. Jeff Reynolds. Hey, Barry and all. I'm waiting and watching outside the hospital. Well, I know as soon as your wife gets off work, she'll come out there and you'll drive her home and then have your dinner, right? You can let us know what your dinner is later. Out of Gas Garage, Ricard checking in from Sweden. I'm glad you're here. If you haven't seen his videos yet, I like what you're doing, Ricard. I know they're mostly time-lapse, and that's okay. People can still get stuff out of time-lapse videos, so I'm glad you're sharing those. So give a look at Out of Gas Garage as well. Let's see. Scott, you're in Abu Dhabi, but Atlanta area is home now. Okay. So you're in Atlanta? Is that what you're saying? Or in the Atlanta area right now? Daryl Jones checking in from Lake Havasu, Arizona. That sounds very appealing, actually. I think I've seen pictures of Lake Havasu, and that sounds really appealing to me. Marshall checking in from Georgia. Glad you're here. Yeah, the weather right now, it's warming up slightly. Luckily, the wind has died down tremendously, so the wind chill factor has dropped. I think I checked on my house thermometer about 54 degrees. So that's much better than what we've had over the past few days. And of course, that's going to fluctuate over the next week or so, and that's going to weigh into some of the stuff that I'm doing. So I don't know. Well, you can't really see right now, but I have all the front sheet metal pulled off of Jade. Fenders, hood, everything is off. And I think I'm done. I want to say I think I'm done sanding the fenders and the valance panels. I need to do a little prep work on the hood yet, because where I welded it, it create little burns in the paint on the top side, when I put all the spot welds in. So I have to address those, smooth them up a little, and add some more epoxy on top. And of course, the underside will need some work, but that's going to be fairly minor. But the goal is, again, to get all of those pieces into primer. That is the goal. Then I can move on to doing more of the other things that are needed to get the car moving closer to paint. So, Marshall, Barry, what paint are you using for your dash? I removed my dash pad and have body worked the metal, but need to find the right paint. Looking for one that is durable and won't scratch easily. Actually, I'm using the same paint that I had used on the doors. Now, it's a single stage. I can't tell. I don't know the exact. I don't have a code that I could share with you. My friend at the PPG store mixes it for his personal use on his vehicles and cars that he paints. And so he gave me some of his custom mix. But it is PPG. It's a single stage, and I sprayed it on the doors. So the information, there may be some information on that video where I did the interior of the doors. I can't quote it right now because I don't remember the specifics, but I will be doing the dash with that, and also the quarter trim panels for the interior, which I dug out the other day. I wasn't sure if I had these, but I do, and they're actually in decent condition. I mean, whoever the guy before him must have worked them and painted them. So I may have to I don't want to strip all this off, but I may have to scuff it all and reshoot it so that the color matches with what I'm doing. So hope that helps answer that question to some extent. Rick Stevenson checking in. Glad you're here. We have Ian Morado. That's a new name. Denver, Colorado here. Nothing going on, but a nice Rocky Mountain high. Cool. I've been to out there. I did a snowmobiling trip that was spring of 2020. Yeah. So it was pretty nice. Chris Greenaway, won't see much anymore. Oh, you're talking about snow? Jeff H. checking in, working on installing upper and lower cowl and 66 convertible. Thanks for your videos. You are welcome. And I'm glad you're tackling that. That's cool. Chris, hello from Snowbelt, Ontario. Yep. Definitely in the snow. Out of Gas Garage. Thanks. I'm happy to report that the shock towers are now welded in and the car is now coming together again. I will drive it this summer. That sounds awesome. Looking forward to seeing some videos on that too. That would be cool. Chris says you won't see me much. Okay. So I guess you're going to be doing something, or else you're doing something right now and we can't interact very much. Dave, we have our first Dave sighting, Dave Conville. He gets the first Dave bell. Glad you're here, Dave. Ian has given me a thumbs up. Thank you. Harvey, Rally Cat Garage, checking in from New Jersey. Steve, Footage Factory. Hey, checking in. Cool. Chris Greenaway. I'll be busy with my new factory job. 12-hour shifts rotating. Well, so you'll be around every 3 weeks? Is that kind of what you're implying? Or are you just rotating shifts? 12 hours? Hope that works out for you. I know that, you have the advantage of youth. That helps out a lot. So, Bob, I found me a body and paint man, retired, and looking forward to painting my Mustang. Cool. That's good news. That's really good news. Let's see. Oh, so Chris is saying 2 weekdays, 2 weeknights. 2 weeks, I guess 2 weeks of day shift, 2 weeks of night shift. Eugh. Yeah. Well, like I said, you're young, so you can adapt quicker than I can. Dave and Cheryl checking in. Big thumbs up. Just another Dave here. Yep. So we have 2 Daves. And Ricard, I like what you did with the front balance. Nice job. Thank you. Thank you, Ricard. That's something I was going to bring up, that front balance. The video, I've actually made 2 videos for that. And I'm bringing this up because as I go forward with my channel and what I'm doing, and I have to be realistic. I have to be proactive, and I feel like I'm way behind the curve on a lot of this stuff, with YouTube and Patreon and all these different things that create this global environment. And I feel like I'm way behind on it. So what I did is I made a video. It was 20 some minutes long, and I shared that to Patreon. And then I made another video, or I took that video and I made it a shorter version, which is going, for YouTube. Now, a lot of this has to deal with the idea that, as I think about it in a broader scope, how YouTube just doesn't care. 100% honest. They don't care. They don't care who I am. They don't care what I do. They don't care how many people are subscribed to the channel. All they care about is views. That's all they care about. So what happens is I can make the best quality, the most intelligent or whatever, the most educational video that I can, and post it to YouTube. And YouTube doesn't care. It could be, I could do that, or it could be a video of cats falling out of a tree. They don't care. The cat's falling out of a tree, it could go viral, and all of a sudden it's got 1 million views, and YouTube is going, pay me, right? Because all the advertisers jump on board because they want to get their video, their ad seen to be on that video. In the meantime, I could spend hours doing the work. I could spend hours editing. I could spend hours answering emails and questions and doing all kinds of stuff like that. And then YouTube says, well, we don't care. Now, I still have a tremendous fan base, 46,000 plus, and I'm very thankful for that. And, if I make a video, we could go through any one of my videos that I've done recently, and it has 1,000 views or 3,000 views or whatever. Again, YouTube doesn't care. They don't care what it is. They don't care. But the difference being, if I had 1,000 or 3,000 views versus 100,000 or 300,000 views, the money that they pay me is based on 1,000 views, right? So percentages. And so somebody that has 1 million views, well, they get a big chunk of money. The thing is, whatever money I technically make from the videos, YouTube gets half. They get half. So again, they don't care how good a video is or what it's about or who makes it or anything like that. They get their half, and they just say, here, everybody look at this video. They promote it. They push it to the front. They say, look at this video, these cats falling out of this tree, and people are watching it because it's entertaining or whatever, and it draws them in. And the more that people see it, the more YouTube promotes it. The more people see it, the more that YouTube promotes it. It's just this piling on effect. So I'm still going to keep making videos for YouTube. I'm still going to keep putting out what I've been doing. I still am going to do that, but I'm going to probably go forward with making 2 versions. I'll make a longer version for people that are really into it, and really want to get details and, learn some things, and I'll post that to Patreon, and then I'll make condense that. I still have the good information, still have some, valuable stuff in it. And I'll condense that, and that'll be for YouTube itself. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because I know I've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now and trying to figure things out and trying to make it better. And, the reality is there's people that, like my wife watches a woman, I don't know what her name is. She watches a woman who does stuff with a Cricut, some sort of Cricut machine. You do vinyl cutouts. And she has, I don't know how many subscribers to her thing. And my wife was telling me, oh, she just bought a new house in Florida. I said, what? Bought a new house in Florida? No, and she's driving a Tesla. She's driving a Tesla? How, what? Now the thing is, she's got a base of people that follow her on whatever format she's using about this Cricut machine where you do vinyl cutouts, right? Whatever. If you're subscribed to her on Patreon, well, she'll give you access to all of her patterns. She'll give her access to these different, things. She does occasional giveaways and stuff like that. And I'm so behind on the Patreon thing. I don't understand it enough to make perfect sense for me, but I've got to figure it out. I've got to do something because YouTube doesn't care. They don't care. Not at all. All they care about is making their half of whatever money comes in. And again, they'll promote cats falling out of a tree because, hey, look at that, So I was amazed about my wife telling me that this woman has, bought and paid for a house and a Tesla and whatever else. And all she does is make patterns on a Cricut machine. That's all she does. So anyway, sorry. Not trying to get off tangent here. I may talk about this more later, or on another live stream, but that's where I'm at. I've got to make sure I take care of me first and my house, my wife, all those things. Karsten checking in, I believe from Denmark, if I remember correctly. Phil, I'm changing my name to Dave so I can have a bell too. Steve is commenting to footage to David and Cheryl. Chris, 15-minute walk to work every day. I'll take it. Jobs are scarce during COVID. Good answer. Good answer, Chris. That's the way to look at it. Let's see. Going back and forth there. Jeff Reynolds, my 74-year-old midwife does not have the advantage of youth and is working 12 and a half hour shifts each week. What? That does not sound appealing. But it is a midwife wife is a question that Chris is asking. Steve, that's kind of a good idea about Patreon. Yeah, I think so. It's like I said, I could put out as many. I have 600 plus videos on YouTube, 600 plus videos. And, my number one in the last 3 years, the number one video that gets the most views is how to change a broken lug nut stud. That's my number one video. The second one is repairing body panels, and I think the third one is metal bending on a scroll bender thing. Those are the videos that get the most views. So if my Mustang videos were getting tens of thousands of views in the first week, that would be a whole different scenario. But it's just not working that way. Don checking in from Portland. Glad you're here. Let's see. We have Zez. What can I do to improve 4-speed manual transmission? We need some more details. What kind of transmission and what kind of improvements are you looking for? That kind of helps. And what kind of car? A lot of details like that will help. Jeff saying, Chris, my wife is a midwife here in UK, delivers babies in labor ward. Supposed to finish tonight at 8 p.m., but stuck in theater. Wow. Well, I'm glad she's working. That's a good thing. I can tell you this, Jeff, my mom is, what is it? She's 75. She's 75. She's an RN, and she's still working. She was working in a hospital, but now she's been working at a retirement home. But she's still working. Yeah, Jeff saying, I think that breaks some workers' rights. David, sure, we want to help you any way we can. Good idea about your Patreon page. Thank you for that. And that is what I've been getting for most. I haven't gotten any negative feedback. Of course, I haven't really pushed this yet. Like I said, the shorter video will be released tomorrow at 1:00. We'll see how YouTube operates with that and how the responses are. But as it is, there's a gray area that comes into play. And the gray area is, let's say I post my videos from YouTube, the Patreon videos, I make the video on YouTube and I post it to Patreon. And I can post those videos. I can turn off the monetization, which I forgot to do when I first posted that video. But I can turn it off for the patrons, so there's no ads, which I know is a big thing, So if I turn off that, it's all well and good because it remains an unlisted video unless somebody posts it. Like if one of the patrons were to go, oh, I can share this, and share it to somebody else, then it could take off, but that doesn't help me at all. That doesn't help. So I have to monitor that in case somebody does that, then I'm going to have to change that video to a monetized video in that sense. The other idea is I could post the main video to a Vimeo account that I have. Patreon is connected to Vimeo. So I could post it to Vimeo and not even put it on YouTube and then then put the other video on YouTube itself, and then whatever happens, happens. So I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure out how all this is going to work out. So, okay, so GMC Sierra 97, and what is wrong with the shifter, or what is wrong with the transmission? What are you trying to gain from it? Because that's a 97 Sierra that has a 4-speed. That should have a 5-speed, I would think. 97? I want to say that should have a 5-speed. Chris is saying short throw shifter in newer cars. Yeah. Steve, the thing about your videos, and I speak from experience, I watched your TCI kit about 25 times over and over. It's not entertaining like a stupid cat, but it has long-term watchability. Yes, I agree with that. And they're still going to be there. They're still going to be there, but the longer video, like I said, I'll share that to Patreon. So let's see. Big Red 67, late checking in. You're all right. You're all good. Let's see. We need to know what you expect. Yeah, asking about the transmission. If you do monetize, then you'll get the views and watch time, then monetize later once it has marinated on YouTube while you're doing the Patreon at the same time. Yeah, I could see that. But I don't know, I'm thinking if I'm having my patrons, I'm trying to be fair about it. If my patrons are, in effect, paying to see a better video, I don't know that I want to monetize it. I don't know yet. And I need feedback from the people that are on the on Patreon. Roger, I mentioned this before. I really think you need to add your Patreon info to all your old videos. I've been watching your videos for years and learning a ton, thinking he should have a Patreon. Yeah, I've been trying to do that. I have been trying to do that. And the thing is, it's kind of, I can add it to the description, but unless somebody actually clicks on the description, they may not even notice, or, because a lot of my old videos, like old videos, I don't even know if I had a description. I would say, working on a Dodge truck or something silly, and I've tried to get more detailed about that sort of thing. But you're right. I would be able to maybe have somebody pick up somebody from that side, or those old segments. Let's see. Hold on just a second. Okay. I don't know if I'll still get that message or not. I never heard about your Patreon until recently when I finally was able to catch your live stream. Okay. Yeah, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not real good at promoting myself. I'm really not. I'm just, word of mouth is what has really gotten me where I'm at right now. Okay, so Zez says he changed the transmission to a 92 version. Okay. Jeff, Chris, okay, so talking about the midwife. Steve, wrote out the whole problem in one message so we don't get lost. I had that truck similar year. Yeah, talking about the transmission. Okay. Carson, I have YouTube Premium. It is nice to not have all this ad. Yeah. And I don't know exactly how YouTube Premium works. And what I mean by that is, yes, if somebody pays the service to have YouTube Premium, they don't get ads or whatever. I don't know what YouTube charges for that. And I don't know what, if any, percentage of that comes back to me. I really don't know. That's one thing I've never understood, how that gets returned to me, because it'll show me my numbers and stuff, but it doesn't tell me exactly. Well, maybe it does somewhere. I haven't researched it hard enough. Maybe I do get a percentage. I don't know. Chris, my mom is 65, still working in a private medical office under new docs. Yep. This is how my missus works part-time during normal times. Yeah, okay. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, my mom she still goes in, does her thing. Chris, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. That is true. But even if you love what you do, you still got to get paid for it. That's how I look at it. Let's see. Footage. Maybe Steve, maybe the Patreon can have custom help when you let when you let me video call in, it was so helpful. Remember when I paid out my pocket just for you to video call in? Yes. Yes. I mean, that's another option that I may have to look into. And the reality is I've taken lots of calls. I've answered tons and tons and tons of questions. I've had a few people, just a few out of all those calls that have actually, let's say, compensated me for my time. Because the reality is time, no matter how we look at it, time in the grand scheme is money, right? So if I'm out here working on a car, hopefully that time generates me money down the road. Where if I have a conversation with somebody on the phone and they talk to me for an hour and a half or an hour, I've had conversations that have gone over an hour and a half, and either help solve problems or talk about situations or whatever. And I've had very few people that say, this guy just gave me an hour and a half of his time. Let me send him some money, which is reasonable, but that's the reality of it. I've done it probably hundreds of times in essence. And, that's the truth. David and Cheryl, how do your patrons find out when you post the videos? We like that you would still share with everyone out there in YouTube land. Yes. Well, whenever I post it on Patreon, I hope that y'all get some sort of email or notification of some sort. Because I don't know how else I could do that. I mean, I shared that video and I made it available to all the patrons, and I got a lot of responses back from that. A lot of positive. But I don't know how they associate. I don't know how they share it. So, but yeah, I mean, I like to share this stuff. We're either one way or the other. I'm gonna keep making videos and trying to do what I can. Jeff, I have a question I've been meaning to ask. Does your son or son-in-law ever help? I love all your videos and I've learned a bunch. No. I tried years and years ago to get my sons, and my daughter would come out occasionally, but I would try to get my sons involved, and I don't know what it was. They didn't have any interest. So I tried. I told my younger son was more interested in cars, and I said, well, look, if you want a car, we'll build it together. I'll build whatever you want, but you have to help. Nope, didn't happen. Zez, all right, I have a GMC Sierra 97 Vortec engine 5.3 installed, a 4-speed transmission, 92 direct fit. I want more fuel economy and better engine performance. Thank you, Zez. That's a better question. That is a much better question. Now we understand what you're asking. The difficulty is likely the 4-speed transmission, because you probably need to have that overdrive, that fifth gear. The easy fix is to get a 5-speed transmission, in my opinion. Otherwise, you're looking at changing rear end ratios, and that's really probably your only option, is changing the rear differential. So that's what my answer is. Now, if you could find a 5-speed, you'd be further ahead. Anybody else have any input on that? By all means, let Zez know. Don, check out SV Delos for Patreon. I'll bet you could talk to Brian for some tips. He does both Patreon and YouTube, very successful. See, that's another thing. I haven't kept up with anybody that's on Patreon. I don't even know. I haven't tried to join anybody else's. I don't know. But so you're saying SV Delos? SV Delos. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, I'll write that down because I need information. So I assume he has a YouTube channel. But I don't know. I'll take a look at it. Chris, you've hit the nail. My missus loves her work. Yeah. Steve, an hour of time on the phone, no money coming in. I guess the big question is how to monetize that. Without being rude, and how to do it consistently. That is very true. Yeah. And see, that's the problem in some aspect of uh, and who I am. Really, it's who I am. I love helping people out. I really do. Um, but that doesn't pay the bills. It doesn't pay the bills. Answering the phone and trying to do whatever you can. So I don't know how to make that reasonable. So Dawn is saying yes. Patreon sends notifications of new postings. Thank you for that, Dawn. I'll even give you a bell. Nope. Roger, Patreon sends you an email if you set the alerts up. Better answer. Okay, so now we know you have to set an alert up on your Patreon so you know that I've posted something. 428 Power checking in. Glad you're here. Actually, Steve, Jeff Schultz reminded me, I wonder if you can pay someone to edit while you fabricate and create the footage because you might be better suited making decisions and doing the work. That is very true. Again, this is where you come into the idea of time and money. I've thought about that. I've thought about having someone even, film or edit. I was looking at, what is it, Dennis Collins? Dennis Collins. He's got a YouTube channel. And he does this thing called Coffee Talk. And I guess he goes out and he'll pick up his cup of coffee from his immaculate giant shop that he has, get his cup of coffee, and he'll walk around the shop talking about the cars that are in the shop and what's going on with them and that sort of thing. The reality is that's all he does. I mean, as far as that aspect, somebody else is filming him. They take that footage, boom, they edit it, boom, they put it on YouTube. Dennis's job is done. He doesn't have to do any more follow-up. He doesn't have to, be involved beyond that point. So he just has to be the face in front of the camera, and his job is done. That is the truth. Steve, editing takes a bunch of time. Take it off the table. Yeah, I wish I could. I wish I could. I wish I could. Okay, so Chris saying you were helping Harry. Okay. Harry, yeah. Bad Harry. What is the recommended differential ratio? Well, that is another good question. I don't know what you have in there right now. That's going to be probably your first answer or first step in resolving any kind of economy issues is finding out what your ratio is right now. It has to work together with the transmissions you have. So what was in it before? What transmission was in the truck before you took it out? So let's get that figured out. Chris, I love factory work, but it won't buy my house or my dream collection. Yes, that is true. Deborah and Cheryl, thanks, Dawn, for the info, Barry. You've got to go to work and afford more sheet metal. Take care and keep up the good work. Thank you. So Tony's wife does it? Oh, yeah. You're talking about Uncle Tony, I guess. 49 viewing. Toss in a thumbs up. Yes, by all means. Throw a thumbs up on the video. Jorge Sanchez. Good afternoon, guys. Glad you're here. I don't know if I've seen you here before. Yeah, I think you have. Jorge, yes. My mind was telling me Jorge Lopez. So Chris is thinking it's got a 270 gear. But yeah, that would definitely help with fuel economy. What's your gross weight? What's your model extended cab? Yeah. Okay, so Brian brings up a question. He says, 4-speed, I wonder if he has an automatic. That is a good question. We didn't clarify that, did we? I was thinking it was a stick shift. So maybe we need to know whether that truck is actually an automatic. That would help as well. And what do you expect for mileage out of that truck? Because a truck doesn't get good gas mileage. There's really no easy way to say that. Trucks, if you're getting 15 to 18, that would be pretty impressive for one of those trucks. Stallion Ranch Woodworks. Good afternoon, all. Glad you're here. Steve saying 270 rear could be way too high. Yeah. Robert, okay, you can start now. I'm here. We'll be in and out, though. Got lots of stuff to get ready. Yep. Okay. Okay, let's see. Jason, I don't see all vids, to be honest. I watch what I need, but not all. I resto a 66 Stang, and when it's relevant, I watch vids. Can I help otherwise? Don't want your knowledge to go away, but I'm not rich. Just watch the videos, Jason. That's all I can see. All I can say. YouTube's algorithms are such that, again, it doesn't matter if I have 1,000 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers. That really isn't relative or relevant to YouTube at all. They don't care about that. In fact, you'll see a lot of people. I've seen people that say, "Oh, I have 100,000 subscribers," and YouTube sends them like a plaque. And I've seen people just throw it in trash because it doesn't really matter. The whole thing comes down to the number of views that the videos get and the length of views the videos get, and of course the ads that are associated with those videos. So if I have a 10-minute video, YouTube wants it to go past 5 minutes on the watch mark, and they don't want it to like skip through. They want it like actually 5-10 minutes. The longer it's watched, the happier YouTube is, the more they promote it. So the view count is the first thing, and then of course the length of time watching is the second thing, and then whether the ads are viewed or not. That's what they want. They want those ads to be seen because then it means revenue. So the reality is length of time, number of views, and of course the ads. So that's all I can ask. I'm not gonna. I don't want to. I'm not gonna. I don't want to make it any more difficult for people to see the videos. That's why I'm still going to put out videos. It just may not be as detailed and as complex as some of the stuff I've been putting out. Okay, so Zez is saying it was converted to manual. So it was an automatic truck, and now it is a manual truck. Okay. I can't say much more than if you had, I don't know what kind of mileage you're getting right now, but it's a trade-off. Either you have power, to pull stuff and haul stuff with a certain gear ratio and the 4-speed, or you give that up and you have trouble pulling away from an intersection and it's not feeling as good to haul things. So it's a real trade-off. Chris, I get 12 to 14 miles per gallon for my 2008 Dodge Ram. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you get anywhere from 15 to 18, you're pretty lucky at the moment. Bad Harry's in the house. Glad you're here. I hope you got some answers for your questions about the Cougars. So, Chris, sorry about the old pauses on the call. Oh, okay, so he's talking with Harry. Steve, Barry, a lot of dudes in the automotive realm, they spin donuts. Cletus runs quarter-mile times every week. People do stupid crap. Your wholesome channel doesn't make fast money, but steady. Yes, I agree with that. I mean, I don't know. I have a hard time doing the dumb stuff. That's the reality of it. I just, I'm like, if I'm going to be expressing myself or sharing information, I want it to be as close to accurate as I can get, or as accurate as I can get it, and be the most useful as I can get it. But again, YouTube, as I said, YouTube doesn't care. They don't care. If guys are going to be doing donuts, I watched, what is it, Vice Grip Garage, and they try to start a car every episode or something. It's the same thing over and over and over from what I'm gathering. I mean, there's some good stuff out there, but there's also a lot of junk that just gets promoted and shared and watched, and Steve is asking Zess, what do you want? You want higher performance or miles per gallon? Yes, that's the trade-off. One or the other. Mishal Al-Zahrani. Hope I'm close. Mishal Al-Zahrani. Hope I was close. Glad you're here. Brian Bergman, my best advice with the info we have is to put a 5-speed in. Yes, I agree with that. Put in a regular old 5-speed. That would help be the best option. Don, if I make some how-to videos and you post them on your channel, do you get the views and money for those? Would it help you? Actually, it would. I mean, if I get videos like the Viewers Project videos, there's input from the viewer who makes a video, and then there's my editing that I do to that video, and then of course, I put it together, and that video goes on YouTube, and it gets views, and depending on the video, I get some return on it monetarily. And depending on what you're doing, Don, I mean, I can, it's just a matter of what it's worth to YouTube again. So it may be an option. I don't know. But everything helps. So Zez is saying he wants more torque. I appreciate your interaction. Yeah, more torque. You're going to have a hard time getting any kind of gas mileage out of that. It's a trade-off. Either, you get one or the other. But 5-speed is probably your easiest fix. Steve, please don't do the dumb stuff. I think you run your race, you'll, I guess, grow. Slow but steady, but every time I can help, I'll try. Yeah. Well, thank you, Steve. And I couldn't do the dumb stuff anyway. I'm not built for that. I'm just not. You're welcome, Zez. Steve, would you ever fly to someone's house and help them with their project? Maybe me, make a series about it. I've mentioned that before. I have done road trips before to where I've done filming at different locations, but as it is right now, I don't know if I can pull that off. Currently, my wife is babysitting our grandson during the week. So not only are my duties here with the garage and making stuff happen out here, but also taking care of our pets. So there are some drawbacks. And then, of course, I have to have my permission to do such things. And that's probably not high on the list. Sergeant Jay's RC Adventures. Joe Daddy, what's up? I'm glad you're here, Sergeant Jay. You must be here from Tim's channel, but I'm glad you're here. I assume you have RC videos. Otherwise, why would you have RC Adventures for your name? So perhaps I'll give that a look and see what you got going on. Rick, to all whose comments were deleted or blocked, I apologize. I had left the chat to take a phone call. It was not done intentionally. Okay. Well, I hope nobody got run off. Rick has one of the wrenches that allow him to monitor what people are saying in here. So hopefully that didn't affect anybody. Bad Harry saying, yes, thanks for connecting me with Chris. Barry looking at a 1970 Super Cobra Jet Fastback and a 1970 Cobra, CJ Cobra, both big block 429 with Ram Air. Harry, I probably know somebody that wants one of those. Or no, those are Torinos, right? Yeah, those aren't Cougars. Those are Torinos, if I remember. Yeah, never mind. If it was a Cougar, I know somebody who might want it. But Torino, that's still very cool. Zest 5-speed is hard to get and expensive. Have you tried going to a U-Pullet yard? If you go to a U-Pullet yards, and you do the job, typically you get a transmission for like $100. If I remember correctly, I know that I was seeing people pulling transmissions out of trucks, and I don't even know if it was $100. It might have been $75. So, Chris Berry, we need you. Unfortunately, we have too many people who do projects improperly, etc. You make our projects times feel better, more realistic. Yeah, I understand that, and I'm not going anywhere, but it just may have to change the format a bit. Steve is saying, Zez, need intake and need bigger runners. Yeah, that would probably help. Okay. You'd be more than welcome to fly to my house and help me out with my project. 2021 Joe Daddy European tour. That would be awesome. That would be awesome, Ricard. I'd have to bring my wife with me though. I would have to bring my wife with me, and I think she would go for that. I think she would go for that. Let's see, Steve. Yeah, never mind about flying, but if you ever did do it, take a look at RWB Porsches. The dude flies all over the world to put flared out fenders on. Okay, wow. Okay, sounds interesting. Nick is saying 5-speed and 370 to 411 gears. The more gears you got, the more you stay in the power band, and overdrive helps the stout gearing in the rear. Keep the lead foot road rage down. That's a good point. Keep your foot out of it. Rick, hi Barry, late to the party. Work got in the way. Yep, well, I'm glad you're here, Rick. Let's see. No other way around it. If you want power and economy, gearing it where it's at. Yes. Don Thompson, Portland would be a mighty road trip. Yeah, that would be quite the road trip. Robert, I'll do the European trip too. Missed not going last year. Yeah. I mean, why not? Ricard says, bring your wife. We'll send her off for some shopping with my wife. Yeah. This is sounding better and better. Chris, people look over this simple thing with Fords. Remember on those big options to provide the Marty reports, even if you have to pay out of your pocket. My neighbor paid for a supposedly 428 Cobra Jet. That's a good point, Chris. Get the Marty report if you can. Let's see. Maxi Pizza 1. Hey, Barry, all the best from Germany. Thanks for your sticker. Ralph. Oh, okay. Ralph. Wait. Ralph Bittern. Am I right? If so, I get a bell for that. Bittern. Let's see. Chris, it turned out it was a clone. Yeah, that's the bad part. Too easy to clone some of this stuff. Steve say, okay, Portland. Out of Gas is in Sweden. He's in Sweden. So you could drive over and see Ricard while you're there. There you go, Steve. You could go over and see Ricard in Sweden because you're in Scotland, I think, or you were. So I don't know how far away. Let's see. I can't say the name of what is it? Oh, wait a minute. Let me see if I can remember. Ricard Finspång. Is it Finspång Castle? Is that right? Finspång Castle? And I'm just doing this off the top of my head now. Finspång, I think, is what the name of it was. I could be wrong. Is that right? Something like that, right? Autogas Garage, yeah, he lives in Sweden. Yep. Ralph. I do remember odd things for some reason. And the name, of course, is odd because it's not something we normally see here in the U.S. Rick, when I came home from the hospital after being born, it was in a 69 Torino with a 428 Cobra Jet. Wish Dad kept that car. Well, there you go. Sounds like Bad Harry's going to be taking a look at some of those. Never know. Might be able to work something out. Chris, GMs and Mopars can't benefit from the Marty reports, unfortunately. Yes, that is very true, unfortunately. Finspang is correct, and we have a castle here. I'm 2 for 2. Just dumb things that I save in my memory for some reason. Don't ask me why. I don't know. Anyway, so another thing I wanted to mention, since I've taken all the front sheet metal off, this was the opportunity that I needed to correct the return hose on the power steering for the Borgeson. I did not make a video on it because all I really did, I may highlight it in another video just to point it out. But if you remember, if you looked at my, I don't know which one of my brake videos or something on Jade, I point out that the headers and the return hose were almost touching each other. And that was an issue that I had to deal with. So today, after I pulled all those parts off, I said, you know what? Let me take care of this while it's in my mind. So I went and got a new return hose, and I got a longer length, and then reformed it, let's say, to follow the pressure line. So now I don't have to worry about that. So it's like I said, it's those little things, little check marks that you can put on your project that you don't have to worry about. So once that is taken care of, now I can, again, go to the other little steps that are in my way. But I have all the panels, all of them sanded. And so I hope to have them in primer. If the weather holds up, maybe by this weekend, maybe. We'll see how that goes. But I need to get those panels, some retouched with epoxy, and then high build, of course, over everything. And I can't wait to see the fenders and all those other pieces in high build. I did finish sanding out the filler on the lower valance that I customized. To me, it looks fantastic. So I'm going to look forward to getting material on that. And then, again, the other thing I need to do internally, and this could happen really at any time, but I need to get the the dash finished, get it sanded and sprayed, so that I can just, again, little check marks that I can take off the list. And once I get that done and get everything in the bulk of primer, block sanding. The most exciting thing you can do in your spare time, block sanding. Get all this stuff sanded out and probably do a whole nother round of primer so I can make sure that everything is clean and sweet and ready to go. And then we can start going towards the paint process. So that's kind of how it's going. I have thinking if there's any other. Oh, I still have to do something with that grill. I wanted to point this out as well. I actually had emailed NPD about it, or they emailed me because they didn't like my comment that I made. But the grill that I have, the expanded metal grill, it's built for the Shelby, so it's technically 3 or 4 inches narrower than the grill you would get in a regular 68. If I plan to use that grill, I'm going to have to customize it. That's all there is to it. Or I go buy a sheet of expanded metal and I just make my own, because I like that grill. I really like the way it looks, but I may have to do something to make my own version of it, but we'll see how that goes. Don Thompson, Footage Factory, if you're training at PCC, we'll probably run into each other. Oh, okay. Let's see. Chris saying, Harry, hope your deal works out. Yes. North of Portland. Okay. It says no, I'm prior military, or no, I'm not prior military. Stallion, you are a Camaro guy. Do you know where I can find a ducktail spoiler from a 68 or 69? I don't think I have one, but I don't know. I don't know anywhere offhand. You could try NPD. I think there's I was getting a catalog from, was it Rick's? I think it's Rick's first generation Camaro, I think is the name of the company that I get a catalog from. And there was another one. What was the name of that one? I can't. If it comes to me, I'll share it, but I don't remember the specific name. Chris, Barry, how do you pull fenders off for vintage air? Would it be easier with the interior out? How do I pull fenders off for vintage air? Would it be easier with the interior out? How do I pull fenders off? Well, I guess you're asking about vintage air in the process. You can leave the fenders on, no issue with the fenders. obviously it would be easier without the interior in it. So if you're, you know, pull the seats out and that sort of thing, you got to pull the glove box door regardless to get access in there. Um, but that's the only really, difficulty is getting on the floor so you can get the big box up underneath. That's probably the biggest problem. I was saying, do you have to pull the fenders? Well, not on a Mustang, you don't. Nope. You can put it all in from the side. I didn't even. In fact, most of the stuff that I did on that car right there, while I was putting it in place, I left the hood on too. So if you're looking at the videos, the hood was in place. I worked around the hood, and I did that on purpose in some sense, so that people could see you don't have to take everything off the car. And let's see, Firebird Central has a sister called Camaro Central. There you go, Camaro Central. What's the other one I had? Well, Rick's first generation Camaros was the one, and I can't think of the name of the other one. Let's see, Steve. Oh, to all 50 people in this chat, have you emailed NPD marketing and tell them about Barry? I sure did. No, you all should do the same. Well, thank you, Steve. Thank you. That might help. I don't know. Okay, so you're saying thanks, Chris, for the Camaro input, and yeah, it's full of fenders, right? Okay. Anyway, so my coffee's getting cold. I've had several people send me emails with different bits of advice and information, and I appreciate all those. I get one email, and I don't even know if I really know what his name is. He probably told me. But he goes by Bel Air Dad. Bel Air Dad. So we have interesting emails that go back and forth, and it's nice to have some other thoughts besides the voices in my head that argue with each other and half the time can't rationalize a good decision. It's nice to have input. So anyway, shout out to Bel Air Dad for him also sending me emails, and we share some interesting stories. So it's good. But anyway, I've got to get more stuff done. The weather is my biggest enemy at the moment. I've got to get the temperatures high enough to make it viable to spray. Got to have right temperatures for spraying stuff. So I have to time that out. Hopefully things work out. But I think I'm going to call it a day. We've got 55 people viewing, which is great. And, I'm at an hour into it. So I hope we covered some ground. I know I rambled on about some of the personal thoughts that I have, but, if I don't share information with y'all as to what I'm thinking, and, if something were to change and nobody knows about it, then they're going to say what's going on and maybe get upset about it. But I try to be upfront and honest with just about everything I'm doing. But that said, I'm going to finish up getting these panels set up in the back. I still have to take the let me show you just real quick. The hood hinges that I had on Jade, these were the ones, the Dynacorn. Really happy with these hinges. Really happy. I will probably, if I do another, Mustang project down the road that it needs hinges, this is what I'm buying. I have to modify the upper hole. So if you're looking at the three holes in the configuration, well, this shows the two bottom holes and then this upper hole. This hole, if you're looking at it, this is the passenger side, and this would be the upper hole. The aft edge of the hole was hitting the bolt, and I could not put a bolt in the hole. I removed that bolt, and I did my adjustments, and I was able to get the hood to sit properly, and everything functioned fantastic. You saw the videos on that, but I have to enlarge the hole, the opening, so that the bolt doesn't hit. Now, this may be just coincidental. It may just be my car that has this issue. I can't say for sure, but the back or aft edge of this hole has to be kind of enlarged, and really not much. I know I can't show you, but you can almost see there's a little scar of paint missing, and that is where the uh, bolt was digging in. So it kind of lets me know roughly where I need to enlarge. And then I also took a scribe, and on the face here, I probably can't see it, show you good enough. There's a tiny, tiny little half moon right above my fingernail. That's the actual location that bolt needs to be when the hinge is mounted properly, so that it's configured right. So anyway, again, little things that you can do and put a check mark on. So a couple questions. Don Thompson, that's cool. I'm off to my second job. See you later. Okay. Glad you're here, Don. Paul, how do you choose your chat moderators? Well, that's a good question. Generally, I've had people that they have to have a YouTube channel, first of all. So you obviously have a YouTube channel because you're able to comment. I've had other people who couldn't even comment because they don't have a YouTube channel. And then also I look at who I've interacted with in various aspects. So there's guys that I've contacted directly. We've talked on the phone, or we've interacted through YouTube, or we've interacted on Facebook, my Joe Daddy's Facebook page, that sort of thing. And so a lot of it has to do with just getting to know somebody and being comfortable with, who they are and what their perspective is. So it's not like there's some secret code or anything. I just try to, see guys who I feel familiar with and comfortable with. Hope that answers the question. I think currently I have, I think I have 10 moderators, and, like you can see who they are with the wrenches by their name. And, I may add some more. I don't know yet. I may have to, currently like this live stream, I've only had about 50 people watching. So it's not like I have a lot of, crazies trying to get in. So it's been pretty good, but good question. But I'm going to have to call it a day. So I want to thank everybody for being here. Appreciate your time. And I hope to get things moving in a better direction so we can continue doing this sort of thing. But I will be back on Monday night at 7:00. Don't forget, go Kansas City Chiefs. That's all I can say. I'm pulling for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So, in a big game. So, anyway, that's my goal. So until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.